Uh, Sorry, I'm trying to get creative here. Um, Trying to be more professional as a broadcaster. But I'm not a broadcaster. Like I say, face for print, voice or face for radio, voice for print. That's me. Um, there's a couple of things that I wanted to talk to you guys about today. First things first, I was going down. I got a note from somebody yesterday saying that the trailers were starting to arrive. This morning when I went by, uh, there were 6 trailers, and then a seventh arrived, and then an eighth arrived. So we now have 8 of the 14 trailers that we're hoping to get here in the next few days. I suspect they've shipped half of them today and half of them tomorrow, but that's just a guess. Um, so along with that, I just wanted to, if you're not here in town, you may have caught the fact that I've been posting some notes about the weather. It's been snowing the last few days here in Tumbler Ridge. And I wanted to show you some pictures I took of the snow. I took those on on Monday, so yesterday, and then some pictures of the trailer. So this is me being all fancy. Oh, you opened to the wrong window. So it's like showing you my notes of what I want to talk about. So first things first, this is a down at the Fresh Mart, which is run by the mayor. They've set up this display and they've got books there to sign. So if you are in town and you did not know this was there but wanted to sign the books, they are there at the Fresh Mart. I don't know how long for, so I would say get down there sooner rather than later, but there you go. Oops, wrong screen. Here's somebody signing those books. I have no idea who it is. It's my wife. So I just wanted to, I saw the snow on the flowers and bears and candles that were outside, and I just thought it looked so pretty. Um, there there are many metaphors you could draw from this. The covering of snow starting to cover up the pain and the hurt, or something like that. You can read into it as you wish. I had a few thoughts myself, but mostly it was just liked what liked the look of the things and the snow. So this is down at the tree. Again, for those of you who don't live here in town, there was a vigil the night after the shooting that was arranged by a couple locals where the community gathered. I've got a picture of the Prime Minister and some other people like Pierre Poilievre and Bob Zimmer laying flowers down here, but it's mostly the local vigil. So this is right outside the community center. Over on the right-hand side, you can see the community center and just the start of the covered Roman walkway. Here's some roses. If you look closely, you can see me reflected in the reflected heart. Here's a teddy bear and another one that was buried by the snow, and a third. Here's the signs that they've been making in Chetwynd. Some of the stuff hanging on the trees, and then here's Town Hall. Just the vigil there, or from the vigil there, with Mark Carney. So there's a couple pictures of that. Flag's still at half-mast as of this morning. Oh no, wait, this was still yesterday, sorry. They were still half-mast when I drove by, but this morning they were. And you can tell, one of the things that I'm going to talk about is the weather. You can see how the flags are just whipping about. Here you can see the snow just being blown off the roof of Town Hall. It's kind of nasty out there right now. This is kind of cool where the because the wind is kind of coming around the town hall. The flags are sort of blowing in almost different parallel opposite directions. So anyways, that was kind of cool. And then here's the other shot that I wanted to talk to you about. So you can see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trailers that are lined up. They are not set up, they're just lined up. And then there's 2 trucks there. You can sort of see the light of the one truck's peeking out. So those are the trailers 7 and 8 arriving this morning. So those are some pictures from around the town today. I'm going to bounce back to my camera. That's me. Hi, I'm back. So trailers, snow weather. Yeah, so if you are local, it's going to be pretty cold for the next few days. It's going to warm up a bit, then get cold a bit, and then hopefully start to warm up next week. But we shall see. I've had a number of people inquire about the Tumbler Ridge Strong stickers. Those are being printed by Versatile Vinyl here in Tumbler Ridge. I think some other companies elsewhere have offered to print them as well. I don't know if the stickers have been passed on to those people. I do know that Versatile Vinyl is the person to talk to if you are looking for stickers here in Tumbler Ridge. And they can probably help you. If you are not here in Tumbler Ridge, they can probably help you if there's other stickers being printed elsewhere or not. So talk to Curtis at Versatile Vinyl. Yeah, I haven't seen an update about May yet today. It keeps sounding more positive. And I've been hearing from a lot of people who've been in similar situations. I got a phone call this morning from somebody who wanted to connect up with Sia, and just was like, my kid was in, very similar situation, brain damage. Everybody said they weren't going to survive, and they did. They pulled through. There's been a number of people who've sort of posted that. So, it's one of those no guarantees, but we are praying for an outcome that is similar to the outcomes that have been passed on to us. Speaking of things that have been passed on to us and things that are showing up in the comments, once again, we ask that if you are planning on commenting on any of the things that we post, keep it civil. We are, now is not the time for anger and divisiveness and hateful comments. I mean, it's never that time, but it's more acceptable when we as a community aren't healing. I've already kind of kicked 2 people off. One I might have sort of agreed with some of the things they were saying, but they just kept saying it and saying it and saying it. So I told, I basically just had to ban them, as well as somebody else who has their own mental health issues and who has been posting things that are not very nice. And so we've banned them. There has been some conversation over on WTF Tumbler Ridge that somebody there kind of was like, hey, I got banned and I don't know why. So yeah, we are going through and deleting comments that I don't think are appropriate. Up until over the last week, I've had some other people, I've had to bring on people to help moderate, some who are more tolerant of comment, what people are saying, some who are less. And then there's the whole Facebook thing. Facebook will occasionally, sort of get rid of posts and even people for, I have no idea why. I actually had somebody who I was having this conversation with, and they would say something to me, then they would say something else, and then I would respond, and they'd respond to something else, and I'd be like, I'm not having the same conversation as you're having. Turns out Facebook had decided to turn on auto answer, auto respond or something, and it was all a mess. So I'm trying my best here, people. If I mess up, or if you think I messed up, send me a note, contact me. You can send me an email, publisher@ridgelines.com. Um, I'm not trying to, kill conversation. I mean, I'm willing for people to say things as long as it's civil and loving. And that's tough when you're saying, well, I think all people with brown hair should be shot, just as an example, as a very ridiculous reductio ad absurdum argument. If you are saying things like that and then saying, but I mean that in love, I want to kill you, right? Anyways, so just it's I'm trying my best to walk a fine line here between letting people comment and protecting the community from hateful comments and divisive comments. If here's a small one. I just had this conversation with somebody, and they were accusing Premier Eby for being woke, for saying that they were going to rebuild. The students would have to go back there. I might agree with that. I don't know that people are, that this is the best response, but it's a response. And to say that he didn't sit down with the kids, because he did, and he didn't ask them what their thoughts were, because he did. And from what I'm gathering, I don't have any inside track, but from what I'm gathering, when I talked to him on Friday, and it sounded like he made this decision based on the students' wishes, not on his, because I'm sure he doesn't want to spend more money on building a new school. But based on the conversations, this is something that he can do for the students of Tumbler Ridge. So, and yeah, sure, let's have a conversation. Well, I don't think this is great, because I think that that if you take and if you fall off the horse, get back up. This is completely different than falling off a horse. So we need to come up with anyways, this is all just be nice, be kind, be loving to one another, engage in civil conversation. And if you really want to bring around people to your point of view, the best research right now says the best way to do that is to listen, is to ask questions. It's not to sit there and toss off your own personal viewpoint and then hammer it over the head with hammer people over the head with it. It's to listen, and it's to ask questions. So as long as you're willing to, listen and ask questions, that's great. Oh, hang on. I am getting a phone call. So give me a second. I am going to mute. Mute. Yes, we are professional. We're taking personal phone calls in the midst of a live stream. That was somebody just looking for my wife. Let's see. How many high school students are there? I don't have an exact total, but it was estimated to be around 160 is the number that everybody is going with. Tanya talks about remember going to school and having ATCO trailers there when the school was first built. Yeah, when it was first announced that the kids wouldn't be going back to school, there was some discussion about how that would look, whether they would go and, see if they can borrow back some of the rooms from the Dinosaur Discovery Gallery, which is up in the old Claude Gallibois School, or if they'd be going to school at the at the community center, using the rooms there, or just spread out across the town. Having some people at one of the churches, having some people at the other church. But this is the solution: the ATCO trailers um, that are being used. I was wondering, actually. The question that I had, but I haven't had answered yet, is just wondering if these are from the Site C. Doesn't sound like they are, but it'd be nice because there was all this. What should we do with all the trailers out at Site C? Well, bring them here. We could have a huge school. So Kayla, countdown was for me going live. I was trying something. Yeah, it almost worked. So, anyways, so those are the things that I wanted to talk to. Let's see, two more topics, two more things. Okay, one, I've had people asking about the other people who are injured. We've been focusing on Maya and Paige, but not talking about the 25 other people who are injured. From what I heard from the RCMP, they didn't give a lot of details, but these were people who just kind of maybe, in scrambling to avoid trying to get out of the way, they banged their knee, or they ran into something and got a bump on their heads. There was nothing serious. They were all treatable locally and could be released immediately. So the 25 students that were treated are all fine. They didn't have to spend the night or anything. They've all been scrapes and bumps and bruises. And then of course, Paige, last update from yesterday, maybe the day before, was that she would be coming home, being released from hospital. Maya, last word that we had from her was she was starting to move a lot more than she had been the first few days. Mom is just passionately fighting and advocating for her, and doing all she can to because I've said this before, but of all the kids, Maya was the one that I knew the best. She was a bit of a firebrand. She would come up. She treated adults not with disrespect, but sort of as a friend. She would walk up and she'd start good-naturedly ribbing people, and so we would have these conversations where we were just kind of joking around. So that's that. So yeah, like I say, I'm really hoping to hear good news and just have it keeping progressing better and better. Sia says that there sometimes, it will sometimes progress to a point and then stop. She's hoping it doesn't plateau and that Maya keeps getting better, but it's one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, one moment at a time for her. And then the last thing was, I am trying to share anything that pertains to this that people in town might want to know. I know that there are people out there who are not in town who want to, what's the community feeling like? Well, I mean, we're still mostly punk. I haven't. It is 2:19. I have yet to break down and start crying, but the tears have come to the eyes a lot. So that's a good sign, I guess, question mark. I talked to one of the people who was very close to one of the kids yesterday, and it's going to take a while. It is going to take a long, long while for him to process his emotions and his feelings around this. So, yeah. Anyways, what I was saying was, if there's any, if you hear of any vigils that are happening, I just heard, I think tonight, Ah, darn. I would have to check. But sometime in the next couple of days, possibly tonight, possibly Thursday, between now and Thursday, Soto First Nations will be having a vigil out there. Um, but if you hear of any vigils that are happening around the country, uh, just feel free to pass it on to me so that I can post it on the website. If you hear of any uh, hockey teams that are doing something in memorial, for Maya or Ezekiel, pass it on to me. If you are hearing of any, uh, like if Chris Hadfield, Colonel Chris Hadfield, the astronaut, I follow him, but he posted his reactions to this. But if there's somebody who you think that the town would like to hear from, like a famous celebrity or somebody that isn't just posting to make brownie points or sort of go, look at me, send them on to me. I do not have I barely have the pulse. I barely have the pulse of this town, let alone the province, let alone the country, let alone the world. So if I'm basically recruiting you to be my I was going to say deep throat. I know some people have different connotations with that. That's the person at Wall Street who was the informer. So basically, if you can tell me stuff, if you can be my informants, if you can be my co-reporters, just you can. I'm trying to monitor the comment section. It's still pretty busy in there, so send me a message if it's something that you think that I should get out there. And let's see. Mostly the comments are people just saying here, are the trailers for the students, portables, whatever. Oh yeah, so I guess with the trailers, the secondary school, David Eby promised his students that he talked to, who said that that place was. I don't know what they said to him, but the impression that I got is they told him that they did not want to go back there, and he said, "Okay, you do not have to go back there." So they're doing trailers, and then they're gonna figure things out over the next couple of months. So scouts, eyes and ears. Yes, Keisha, you're my eyes and ears, but not my eyes, which are starting to go, and I can't read anymore, so I have to listen to audiobooks all the time. That's why I have this in my head, is because I listen to audiobooks when I'm not actually live. I'm not listening to anything right now. I was just doing dishes upstairs, and I was listening to, it was a podcast actually, but anyways, so be my eyes and be my ears, but better. And that was all the things that I wanted to talk to you about today. I see Deanne has made the comment scouts. I'm not sure why, if she wanted me to talk about the scouts, which is awkward because there are no scouts here. We have Canadian Junior Rangers. There was a picture of the Canadian Junior Rangers that I shared of them kind of holding up pictures, and somebody asked what the pictures were. It's basically just the victims, pictures of their friends and other people and their classmates and schoolmates that they know who were injured and killed. So that's me. I got a note from my daughter saying she needs to be picked up soon. Hi, daughter. I think she's watching, or at least she noticed that I was online. And if somebody wants to, don't tell me now because I'm about to drop off the call. But if somebody wants to say, talk to me about how the sound is. I've played around with these things. These are the mics that I'm using to do interviews. Oh, okay. Gotcha, Brandon. One of the teachers just sent me a note saying that the Tumbler Ridge Secondary School basketball team will be playing this weekend in Dawson Creek at the Zones. So Oh, and I just had a whole bunch of things come through. Sierra says that she hears that Paige is already home. I hadn't heard that she had made it home, but I had heard that she was on her way home. Thanks for the update, and that's me. Fort St. John is having a memorial service tonight at 7, is what Deborah tells me. So there you go. If you're in Fort St. John and wanted to go to a memorial service, just check. I mean, hey, there's a service in Fort St. John at 7. Maybe a few more details needed for that, just to confirm, but just getting that out there for anybody who's in the Fort St. John area and was thinking about attending something. Tonight is the day. Tonight is the night. Sorry. That's how the song goes, right? Tonight's the night. In fact, there's about a dozen songs that have that in it. Anyways, right, I got to go pick up Zoe. Talk to you later. If you have more questions, comments, whatever, message me. If you see anybody behaving badly on any of the threads, message me, let me know. I basically have told the people that I brought on to kind of keep track of that they could stand down and I could probably take it from here. I might be optimistic, but yeah, hopefully between me and you, we can keep the common threads. Like I say, you know, we can have hard conversations. Let's just do it with grace, kindness, and respect for others. I'm going to, yeah, I'll get there. This is probably going to be my next editorial, so I don't want to spoil it here on the interwebs. But anyways, this is me signing off. Good day.